I'm curious for how many of you was the rise of mobile, for lack of a better term, was it instrumental in your being able to accomplish what you were seeking to with your company? Obviously, Phil, for you, it's the whole game.
Yeah.
It's the whole game, right?
Yeah, I mean, for us, without it, we definitely wouldn't exist, right? Mobile mapping is sort of the foundation of what we do. Knowing something about your place. You know, there are other technologies too that information about the place. We use public artworks as the principal foundation for pretty much everything we do, and without a mobile computing platform to take pictures of that and distribute it to us so that we can provide that in our game, would not have been possible.
For us, you know, we have these big hit videos, and we probably had 25 of them, and I would say 50 to 60% of the views come from mobile now. As we look at the kind of map of where it comes from, it's like the mobile side's going through the roof, and when 60% of your audience is coming from mobile, it gets your attention really quick. And it also provides this real-time element where this content goes out, and it can really explode even further because people are grabbing it in real time and sharing it with their friends. So it's like the kind of spark that went boom for us.
How's that affecting, I'm curious, brand integration at that size?
Well, there's a story there. Wherever I go around the world, there is, I mean, you know it, you know, there's massive adoption of the mobile device for consuming video. In fact, you know, in China, I've just got back from the video market. It's about to grow 4 times by the end of this decade. 4 times with that population. That's something. And it's largely on mobile. So, you know, there needs to be a better way of monetizing that experience if we're going to continue producing the kind of content to feed that appetite. And it turns out that the way we do what we do works very well on mobile devices. All the research is extremely positive. In fact, it's in music videos, it's twice as effective as having a pre-roll in front of the ad. And we know that most music videos are being consumed on mobile. So it's hugely attractive to us, and I think it's another kind of inflection point around the scale we can achieve.
I'm just curious to know if you guys could quantify it, describe it. What characteristics does it take to become a great innovator?
I would say to stay up to the trend. Like, you have to be immersed in what's going on around you, and you have to, like, in a sense, stay young. You see what the younger generation, the younger millennials are doing, and to be able to adapt to that is what gives you livelihood. You have to always be constantly changing.
I think this is a really unsexy answer, but I think timing is so key. Yeah. I think there's a lot of really smart people, and as you said, you know, 3 years ago, you were getting thrown out of the room,
right?
And you weren't a dumber guy then, right? I mean, like, so.
Some people are.
I think there's a lot of people that try to do what we're doing right now. They tried to do it 10 years ago, and honestly, they might have been smarter than we were. I don't know, but I think all the market dynamics need to add up. I think in my space, brands are just now ready to change for the first time, and it's because they have to. Because their business is going down and they don't know any other way, and they're starting to go, oh, maybe this thing we've been doing for 50 years doesn't work anymore, right? So we have to find another way. It comes out of necessity.
I think it is, and it might, part stupidity, part ego, part just, you know, it is less of a fear of failure than your average person. I mean, not that anyone's desiring to fail, but the idea, I started a company when I was 22 and literally had no idea what I was doing, and then I spent 2 years running the business into the ground and lived with my parents, which made them really happy and paid off some of the debt, and then started again. And so I think that the idea of failure being less of this massively traumatic impact into your life, I don't know if people consciously think about that when they start businesses or join startups or do things like that, but I think that does play a role in problem solving, and sort of, if worst case scenario is you're going to be okay in some way, shape, or form, then you keep going. And I think that then leads to the perseverance and leads to figuring things out and trying things, you know, earlier than other people, because at the end of the day, you can figure out a paycheck if you're, you know, I don't mean this, everyone can figure out a paycheck, but if you can find a way to figure out a paycheck from an alternative, then going down the route you want to go down isn't as scary or as hard to navigate.